president says he plans to do with America's healthcare system. We're going to have the latest from Washington, D.C. Then, the El Paso Police Department teamed up with Canadian police officers during a child luring investigation. We're going to have all the details on this case, the man who was arrested as a result, and how EPPD helped make it all happen. And it looks like we're talking about near record highs in the middle of November. Tirza?
That's right, Monica. The chances are looking good. We continue into that warming trend for tomorrow. Lots of sunshine and overall pleasant weather will be the theme until cooler, more average temperatures enter behind a cold front. I'll have those details coming up. Your KTSM 9 Plus starts right now.
You're watching KTSM 9 News First at 4. Starts right now.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to KTSM 9 Plus, your digital newscast. I'm Monica Cortez. We're going to start off with the latest from our DC newsroom. Now, the federal government is back open, but flights will not return to normal just yet. The FAA froze the reductions at 6% while it assesses whether the system can add flights back. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump discussed what he wants to do with America's healthcare system. Washington correspondent Rashad Hudson has the story.
The government is back open, but the impacts of the 43-day shutdown aren't over. Agencies say they'll need some time to get services back to normal.
It's an honor now to sign this incredible bill and get our country working again. Thank you.
After 43 days, the longest shutdown in U.S. history is over. Federal workers are returning to their offices, and agencies are now racing to catch up.
Really pleased to see some of my furloughed employees show up today. There's a lot of hugging and smiling.
The agreement signed late last night funds the government for the remainder of the fiscal year, ending a 6-week standoff that closed national parks, delayed benefits, and disrupted airports. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says TSA employees who worked through the shutdown will receive a $10,000 bonus for keeping security lines moving. But at the center of the shutdown was healthcare costs. Texas Democratic Congressman Henry Cuellar supported the funding bill with the understanding Republicans will allow for a vote on extending the ACA subsidies.
Now we have a little bit of space so we can negotiate health care. They have to keep their word. The Republicans said they would negotiate with us, and let's see what they do.
But not all Democrats trust the White House and Republicans when it comes to health care.
My issue with Republicans is that they have never brought forward a real plan to address health care.
The Senate is expected to take a vote to extend the ACA subsidies in early December. And for anyone traveling to D.C., the museums and zoo will be back open by Monday. Reporting in Washington, Rashad Hudson, back to you.
Well, first at 4, Harmony School of Innovation El Paso has removed a third-party contract worker from campus duties after allegations surfaced of inappropriate messages and contact with a student. According to a statement provided to KTSM by the school, the allegations are made against a contract worker assigned to Harmony. Reports of the alleged incident state that the contract worker was sending inappropriate messages and having contact with a Harmony student off campus and outside of school hours. Now, although this individual was not a Harmony employee, the report conducted is deeply concerning. This is all according to Harmony. They go on to say, and inconsistent with their standards, the individual was immediately removed from all campus duties and will not return, end quote. Now, Harmony stated that they are fully cooperating with law enforcement as they investigate the matter. KTSM did reach out to the El Paso Police Department to confirm if they are looking into these allegations, and we have yet to hear back. Make sure you're checking out KTSM.com for the latest updates. Well, back here at home, El Paso police say that they have helped arrest a Canadian man in a child luring investigation. According to police, 30-year-old Taylor Como is facing charges related to luring children with intention of creating child sex abuse material. In May, members of the DRPS Internet Child Exploitation Unit began an investigation into Como communicating online with a 12-year-old girl. Police say he sent sexually explicit messages to the victim, and on Tuesday, Como was arrested. Police say there may be other victims. Anyone with information about this or similar incidents is urged to contact the Internet Child Exploitation Unit at the number you see right there on your screen. Meanwhile, a 33-year-old Paisa gang member was arrested on 2 warrants in East El Paso. According to the El Paso County Constable's Office, Cesar Saucedo was arrested on a probation violation and robbery warrant with no bond. Yesterday, they saw Saucedo entering a vehicle near a home on Laguna Azul Avenue. The constable conducted a traffic stop and confirmed Saucedo to be a Paisa gang member. He was arrested and taken to the El Paso detention facility. All right, we want to take a pause right there and kind of turn our attention over to weather. On a lighter note, we are definitely seeing just beautiful weather. You know, I have to admit, Tears, that today was the first day that I can recall going to work that I wore a sweater.
Really?
Yeah, I really haven't worn a sweater
Me too,
at all.
here like fully clothed. It was a pretty cool morning. I will give you that, Monica, but I know you left for lunch. It was
hot.
It was fairly hot.
I had to take off my sweater. It was, oh my gosh, I was sweating.
Yeah, we are deep into the layer season, and even though we should be cooler now, our mornings are still pretty chilly. However, our afternoons are still tracking warmer than average, actually well above average. Even now going into the evening, we're still looking at very warm temperatures out the door. 81 degrees in El Paso, 79 over in Juarez, and 75 over in Las Cruces. We should be in those upper 60s at this point, but we do have the chance to be looking at temperatures very similar for next week, but we're still in the middle of that warming trend, so we're only getting warmer from here on out all the way through Friday. Now for wind gusts, they're on the lighter end, 9 miles per hour over in El Paso and 7 for Las Cruces and for Juarez. A little bit higher up in Ruidoso at 17 with Cloudcroft at 10 miles per hour. But taking a look at our car wash forecast, we do have warm days in store for our Friday and Saturday. Plenty of sunshine though, very similar to what we had today. We're looking at very nice cloud cover, but mainly sunny skies. We are in those low 80s before we drop down to 75 for our Sunday. Coming up in our exclusive 9-day forecast, I'll go ahead and tell you when we can expect those more average temperatures to finally hit our region. But for now, Monica, I'll send it back over to you.
Teresa, thank you so much. I do want to take you guys outside right now using our TechStop cameras. This is what we are seeing. Loop 375 Pelicano. Things are moving actually quite nicely in both directions. There isn't a lot to slow us down. Well, in your consumer alert, the New Mexico Department of Health is alerting parents to stop using any Buy Heart Whole nutrition infant formula immediately. Now, we first told you about this recall on Monday, and according to health officials, at least 15 babies have been hospitalized, sickened with botulism. Now, after consuming the formula, officials say illnesses began between August 9th and November 10th in 12 states, including Arizona, California, and right here in Texas. Officials say if you have the formula in your pantry, throw it away immediately. Infant botulism is a rare and serious illness that occurs in babies under age 1, whose stomachs are just not all the way developed. Symptoms include constipation, poor feeding, a drooping eyelid, weak muscle tone, difficulty swallowing, and breathing problems, among others. Health officials say babies who develop those symptoms need immediate medical attention. For more information on this recall, simply visit KTSM.com. Well, coming up, chicken and waffles. Those are heading to Chick-fil-A, but only at 2 locations. We're going to tell you where, and we're going to go over your thoughts in today's In the Comments segment. Thank you so much for tuning in to KTSM 9+, always putting local first.
from HealthSpring. Call 844-396-6044.
Hey everyone, we do want to give you an update about a traffic crash that looks like it just happened on Loop 375 Montwood. It appears that there is a rollover crash in this area. 2 vehicles seem to be involved. Lots of police presence. They have closed what seems to be about 3 lanes, 2 to 3 lanes, forcing everyone to exit. So again, this is going to be a little bit of a traffic jam for you. This is Loop 375 Montwood. 2 vehicles involved, 1 rollover, and police are on the scene and they are closing part of the area. So keep an eye on that. Seek an alternate route if this is your commute. In today's In the Comments segment, Chick-fil-A has just confirmed that they're going to begin testing some exciting new menu items. Starting December 1st, the popular chicken restaurant is going to start testing chicken and waffle sandwiches for a limited time in San Antonio and Baltimore. So the sandwiches will be stacked between maple waffles and smoked bacon with syrup available on the side. The Post also states that the sandwiches will be available with original and spicy chicken. We shared this all over our social media pages and lots of you had a lot you wanted to share. So we're going to start off with Steve Henley, who writes, "It has bacon, that's a no-brainer. Ditch the ketchup and replace it with salsa, at least on the Texas version." Meanwhile, Sean Jackson writes, "What do you mean, Tess? This is a tried and true elite combo." And Taylor Fritz writes, "I will be there. Thank you, almighty algorithm, for letting me know." That's amazing. And if you're visiting San Antonio anytime soon, the new menu test items will be available through January 24th while supplies lasts. Well, here at KTSM, of course, we value your opinion and we want to hear more from you. So make sure you're following us on all of our social media platforms to keep in touch with us through the comments. Well, we're 2 weeks away from the annual Thanksgiving Day Parade, if you can believe that. Up next, we take you behind the scenes to look at another special float you can expect to see this year. This is KTSM 9+.
Nana Pau Pau. Órale. Amén.
Welcome back, everyone. All right, check out this story. I really like it. So a porky perpetrator led police in New Mexico on a chase through Albuquerque earlier this week. What? This video was released by Albuquerque Police Department showing officers chasing a loose piggy along I-40. After dodging cars and officers during a brief chase, police were able to safely detain Porky. The Albuquerque Police Department says that the pig is currently being held at a shelter awaiting release on his own recognizance. Justice for Porky. How cute.
Oh my, the officer point of view from their camera made it that much better. Oh no.
Poor little piggy.
Not him in the back of the unit.
Tiny.
Oh my gosh. How funny. Can you imagine you clock in and immediately what you have to do is run after a pig, physically run. They are like fully booking it to get that pig.
What if you're trying to get to work and you call your boss and you're like, I can't get there because there's a pig on the road?
Look, I know I'm late, but there's a loose pig on the freeway. I'm not gonna make it. You know what, that would, I think it'd be worth it. If I was the boss, I'd be like,
okay,
you
take
deserve
video.
it. Yeah, you know what, take video, take your time. Just let that pig take it in safely. How funny.
I love it.
Oh, I love that too. Oh, such a cute story. I love feel-good stories like that. And something else to feel good is our conditions that we're looking at as we continue to move throughout the rest of our Thursday. 81 degrees out the door. Very beautiful conditions right now. Very light winds moving at 5 miles per hour. And it looks like we will be ending the afternoon with a little bit of cloud cover. Now over in Las Cruces, 75 degrees. Pure sunshine. Beautiful conditions. Very calm winds. And when we take a look at our temperature trend, it looks like we only have a couple more days in those low 80s before we start to drop back down, going into average temperatures for the rest of our 9-day forecast, which is really great news because we are really well into November. It is finally time that we start feeling like that. Now for tonight, we are going to be on the warmer end, 53 degrees, but overall just very beautiful conditions, very comfortable, quiet, those light winds moving 5 to 10 miles per hour. Over in Las Cruces, 49 degrees, partly cloudy skies, and again, just overall very nice and comfortable as well. When we take a look at the rest of the region and their lows, 44 over in Ruidoso, 39 in Cloudcroft, really quite chilly up there, 51 in Alamogordo, TRC as well, and 46 and 45 in Deming and Silver City. Now taking a look at what to expect for tomorrow, we continue to warm up. Now we might even actually match the record for November 14th, which is 83 degrees and potentially get higher than that. We do have it forecasted though for 82, so barely below that average. It will be quite sunny and of course very warm, so just make sure you're preparing for that. Again, we are in that layering season, so maybe just bring something as you're walking out the door. That way you're not too hot later on in the afternoon. 81 degrees over in Las Cruces, mostly sunny skies. Overall, just very calm winds, still moving 5 to 10 miles per hour. For the rest of the region, 68 degrees over in Ruidoso, 59 over in Cloudcroft. Guadalupe Paso will be at 76 degrees with Van Horn at 82. Watt is 82 as well with TRC in the low 80s. Our allergens are starting to tick up, 6 for your Friday and 7 for Saturday and Sunday. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the 9 hours though and how to plan out the rest of your evening. We're looking to be around 75 by 6 p.m. Mostly clear. We are looking at still that cloud cover, and we know we are going to be partly cloudy in our overnight hours. 10 p.m. 66 degrees before we drop down to those low 60s after midnight. When we take a look at the rest of our 9 days, though, we do have quite a bit to talk about. Overall, we are just in that warming trend all the way up until Saturday. Again, those low 80s. We finally start to cool down for our Sunday. We'll be hitting 75 degrees, cooler temperatures and breezier conditions. And this is right before we have a cold front entering our system for our Monday and Tuesday. Really just a drop to those upper 60s, which is really where we should be for this time of year. For our Wednesday, we do have shower chances on the board. We'll be in the mid to upper 60s for that high. And then as we clear the way, we drop down to those low 60s for next Friday and next Saturday. But don't go anywhere. We have more news coming up. You're watching KTSM 9 News Plus.
KTSM 9 presents the Sun Bowl Parade behind the scenes.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, we're only 2 weeks away from the annual Thanksgiving Day Parade. For several weeks now, we've been taking you behind the scenes to get a first look at the amazing floats that will be featured in this year's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And today, our photojournalist Sofia Lopez and myself got a chance to go behind the scenes to show you a special float that honors American heroes. Well, everyone, this is the second part to our Veterans Float. We are now joined by Tony Voltaire. He is part of the Board of Directors with the Sun Bowl Association. What do we have here today?
This one was new for last year. This is our Vietnam Memorial Float. So this is built from the ground up with our artist, Richard Glass. This is a mixed material float. So we have styrofoam, we have wood, we have steel. Some of the items here were donated from Fort Bliss, like the sandbags that you see here. Those are actual Vietnam era sandbags. So we were very fortunate enough to get those for last year. We do have Vietnam veterans riding this float. We're gonna put trees and bushes and flowers on it, just decorating it a little bit more. Of course, the sides will be done closer to the theme that we have for this year. The monuments will stay the same, but for the most part, it'll have a facelift.
That is incredible. So this is float 3. We have one more float. Let's go check it out. All right, so Tony, you're telling me 4 floats on this particular piece. We're down to one of the 4th floats, no particular order, but this one you are building from the ground up.
Correct. Yeah, so this one will be from the ground up. This is new for this year. This is our Native American float. So this one, last year was the first year that we incorporated 3D printing for some of our props. This one is going to heavily rely on 3D printing. So for this float, we are anticipating printing up the guns, the radios, their scopes, and it's ambitious, but we're gonna print the Native American faces for the statues and the mannequins that'll be on the float as well.
Thank you, Tony, so much, and I can't wait to see this full product on display Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, thank you.
We'll be right back. And another quick note on that particular float, they're all being worked on by veterans, if you can believe that. So a lot of hard work is going into these floats, and I can't wait to see it in action. Make sure you're tuning in every Thursday to find out what floats the Sun Bowl Association is putting together. This is the second to last float that we are featuring leading up to the Thanksgiving Day Parade, which will air on KTSM 9 News on Thursday, November 27th, starting at 10 a.m. If you can't catch it or be there in person, make sure you're downloading our KTSM 9 Plus app. It's going to live here for a few months, so you can enjoy it at your leisure. Well, don't go anywhere. We have another half hour of news and weather headed your way. We'll be right back.
focus on what truly matters, being together. Hospice El Paso, where compassion lives.
Welcome back to KTSM 9 Plus, your digital newscast. I'm Monica Cortez. We're actually starting off this half hour with a traffic alert. So let's go ahead and take you outside. This is what we are seeing. This is Loop 375 Montwood. Now, what we know so far is that there are 2 vehicles involved in this crash. It seems to be a rollover. So police are on the scene and they have closed 3 lanes so far. So this is becoming a bit of a traffic nightmare. If this is your commute, both sides you can see there's a lot of looky-loos on one side, and then of course the other you have your 3 lanes closed. So if I were you, I'd try to avoid this area. If you have anyone that's heading out right now, maybe ask them to exit before, or maybe simply take the freeway, although the freeway, we do have some congestions out there as well. Well, from our border report, the U.S. and Mexico are cracking down on gaming operations they suspect of money laundering. Yesterday, Mexican officials suspended operations at 13 casinos where operators allegedly misused customers' identities, credited them with millions of dollars in earnings they did not receive, and shipped profits to overseas accounts. Today, the Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control said it was freezing the assets of 27 people and businesses in Mexico, Canada, and Poland over similar concerns. The office also accused some of the suspects of smuggling bulk cash to the U.S. gambling establishments and restaurants in Mexico for allegedly laundering money belonging to suspected drug traffickers. To read more on the story, simply visit borderreport.com. And some members of the Texas legislature have returned to the Pink Dome today to discuss freedom of speech and civil discourse on Texas college and university campuses. The Joint Committee in response to the assassination of Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. Our Adam Schwager was there and talked to a Texas A&M professor who fears these same lawmakers are interfering with their academic freedom.
We don't have freedom to discuss the truth of the matter, then our very democracy will fall.
Leonard Bright has worked at Texas A&M for nearly a decade and a half, currently as a full professor at the Bush School of Government and Public Service.
It is being chilled.
He called us outside a Board of Regents meeting on Thursday, ready to fight an impending change to A&M system policy.
As we understand it, they are restricting our ability to teach things that relate to race, gender, sexual orientation.
The new language will only allow those topics to be, quote, advocated if the university president pre-approves the course and its materials. It comes months after A&M fired a professor after being secretly recorded discussing gender ideology during class. Texas A&M stated they fired the professor for not following the course description. While that discussion happened in College Station, lawmakers in Austin talked about college campus free speech.
We've had a lot of free speech on the floor of the House and the Senate, and no one's ever come to blows.
The committee formed as a response to Charlie Kirk's assassination at a college campus in Utah and repeatedly emphasized the importance of preserving civil dialogue on both sides of the aisle.
We are not talking about removing a perceived liberal bias and putting in place a perceived conservative bias.
Bright says he agrees with it in principle, but worries about it in practice.
That sounds great on the surface, right?
In Austin, I'm Adam Schwager.
And the rule changed past the Board of Regents. In a statement, Texas A&M University Systems Chancellor Glenn Hagar said, transparency and accountability are essential to our mission, and this effort is really about ensuring we balance academic freedom with academic responsibility, end quote. All right, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about weather now because, well, we're getting closer to Thanksgiving, and so far, I feel like I don't really need a jacket, except for this morning. It was a little chilly. So I don't know. Okay, Ms. Tirza, so I was having this conversation yesterday, actually. I'm trying to find an outfit for Thanksgiving Day, right, for the parade.
Right.
And I'm scared to start planning because right now it's really hot. I just don't know what it's going to be like in 2 weeks.
You know what, Monica? My 9-day just does not have Thanksgiving yet. But, I mean, fingers crossed you will have a jacket out there. And if you're heading out to the parade, I would just have it maybe brought down just in case, because we do have cooler temperatures on the way, just not yet. We are still tracking above average temperatures, even potentially record-breaking for tomorrow. But for right now, out the door, we are looking to be around 81 degrees in El Paso, 79 in Juarez, and 74 over in Las Cruces. The rest of the region pretty much on track with where we are, above average temperatures. But again, this won't be lasting for long. We have a couple more days in those low 80s before a cool front enters, and it is going to drop us down to those average temperatures, which we have been waiting to be in for such a long time. And it looks like for at least a little bit, and at least what our 9-day forecast is showing, will last for a good portion of the week. Now, taking a look at our car wash forecast, again, green lights for a good majority of this board. We are going to be in our low 80s for Friday and Saturday, but then comes Sunday, right before that cool front hits, we are going to drop down to 75 degrees. We're looking at cooler temperatures and overall breezy conditions ahead of those cooler temperatures that are more average. But I will have a full breakdown in our full 9-day forecast. But for now, Monica, I'll send it back over to you.
Tirza, thank you so much. We do want to turn over to a story now that we've been talking about for a week. In case you missed it, El Paso could see a new monthly fee to help pay for street repairs, and the earliest it could take effect is next year if the city decides to move forward. City Council is set to take its first look at the idea on Monday, and KTSM 9 News reporter Diana Castillo is here to explain what's driving this discussion.
I think everybody in the community knows the condition of the streets is not at the level that it needs to be at.
City officials say the funding available to fix those roads is simply not enough, even with $10 million set aside each year for resurfacing.
Even with what we've done of the annual money, $10 million in the annual budget, even with what's been approved by the voters and the community progress bond, the $273 million for street projects, that alone is barely it's a Band-Aid. It's barely just keeping us at the level that we need to be at as far as our street condition.
And they say there's a reason that money doesn't go far enough.
Streets are not going to get cheaper to be able to maintain. It's only going to get more and more expensive the longer we wait.
So they're now looking at a transportation user fee, a possible monthly charge for both businesses and residents. They say would create a more consistent funding source for resurfacing, preventative maintenance, and reconstruction when needed. Now, officials say they've come up with 3 possible monthly rates for residents if the fee moves forward. That would be $4.40, $7, or $11.37. Each option would pay for a different level of street work.
And that was Diana Castillo reporting. Now, the transportation user fee remains in the consideration stage for now. Staff will present it to City Council on Monday, but no vote is expected to be taken. You can always find more on this story simply by visiting KTSM.com. Happening right now, Starbucks union workers in at least 40 cities have voted to go on strike today. The protest, which the union says involves more than 1,000 baristas in over 65 stores, comes after Workers United voted to authorize an open-ended strike after baristas and the coffee giant failed to reach a collective bargaining agreement. Officials say the strike could expand in the coming days and could even disrupt Starbucks' key holiday season. A professor of labor and employment relations at Penn State says that the union chose Red Cup Day to strike because it is typically one of the company's busiest days of the year. Well, House Speaker Mike Johnson has vowed to repeal part of the government funding package that allows senators to sue the federal government for $500,000. The legislation could benefit 8 Republican senators whose phone records were seized in a federal investigation on January 6th. Washington correspondent Kristen Eskow has more.
I was very angry about it. I was.
In a rare rebuke of the Senate's top Republican, House Speaker Mike Johnson says he shared his frustration with Senate Majority Leader John Thune over a provision added to the government funding package. It allows senators to sue the federal government for $500,000 if federal law enforcement collects their data without their knowledge.
I think that was way out of line. I don't think that was a smart thing to do. I don't think it was the right thing to do, and the House is going to reverse it. We're going to repeal that.
House Democrats and Republicans alike blasted the legislation.
This was a horribly corrupt, self-dealing provision. One of the worst that I think I've seen in my 8 years.
That was dumb. That was stupid, quite honestly, to put that language in this bill.
The legislation could benefit 8 Republican senators whose phone records were seized in former special counsel Jack Smith's January 6th investigation. We reached out to all 8 senators. Of those who responded, only South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham said he plans to sue the Department of Justice.
If they don't pay, they'll keep doing it. It's not about me. It's about enforcing rules that keep our country safe and free.
At least two of the senators, Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee and Dan Sullivan of Alaska, say they'd support a repeal of the legislation. The House vote could happen as soon as next week. In Washington, I'm Kristen Eskow.
Well, get ready for a new flavor of Coca-Cola. We're going to have the details on the holiday-inspired drink and when you can get yours. Then we're going to go over your comments on a story we published yesterday about alleged emails that were released saying President Trump knew about Epstein's relationships with underage girls. Thank you so much for tuning in to KTSM 9+, always putting local first.
Scan to download KTSM Plus free.
Segment sponsored by your local Nissan dealers.
Welcome back, everyone. All right, so it's the most wonderful time of the year, and Coca-Cola fans are definitely feeling it. This winter season might be a little bit more special because Coca lovers can now enjoy the brand's first Christmas flavor in 5 years. The new holiday creamy vanilla Coke is available at most national retailers, and company officials say that the special edition item was created to, quote, capture the simple joys that make the season special. It's a twist on the classic Coca-Cola with a so-called smoother, creamier taste. And if you want to skip the added sweetness, the flavor also comes in 0 sugar.
I actually really like that commercial.
I was about to say the one thing Coca-Cola does really good are their commercials. I love them.
They genuinely put every cute animal that you could ever potentially imagine
and
in that.
Feeling right.
Like
I love it. I guess I'm just gonna have to try it.
I mean, twist my arm. I guess I will do the new. But I can't believe in 5 years. I feel like almost every year. Do they just release like a holiday can?
I don't know.
Maybe?
I don't know.
Well, when it comes out, we will be taste testing. You can tune into KTSM 9 Plus to watch us taste test that holiday Coke. But you know what? Getting into the holiday seasons, it doesn't really feel like it right now, but eventually we will get there. Fingers crossed we do have cooler temperatures for Thanksgiving. For right now, though, we are looking at partly cloudy skies and 81 degrees out the door in El Paso. Over in Las Cruces, a little bit cooler, around 74 degrees. Plenty of sunshine, though. We are the Sun City and the Borderland Southwest for a reason. So you know what? We are going to be expected to have sunny days, yes, even in the middle of November and well into fall. Now for tonight, we are cooling down. We are still above average, though, for our overnight lows. 53 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Overall, though, calm and quiet. Really going to be a beautiful evening leading into Friday. 49 degrees over in Las Cruces. Again, you're looking at partly cloudy skies. Overall, though, just very calm, 5 to 10 mile per hour winds at best, blowing through our overnight hours. For the rest of the region, 44 over in Ruidoso, cooler in Cloudcroft at 39 degrees, 54 over in Guadalupe Pass, and 46 over in Van Horn. Taking a look at what to expect for tomorrow, we are looking at those temperatures potentially even hitting record highs. We are currently forecasting 82 degrees, but the chance to reach that high of 83, which is the record, is very possible. Mostly sunny skies are expected, and of course those light winds to pair with that. Over in Las Cruces, 81 degrees. It will also be mostly sunny. Overall, just very calm with those winds blowing 5 to 10 miles per hour. For the rest of the region, 80 over in Tier C, 71 in Silver City, 79 over in Deming. Juarez at 82, with Van Horn matching that number, and Guadalupe Pass at a very nice, comfortable 76 degrees. Our allergens remain in that mild to low range, 6 for your Friday and 7 for the weekend. Taking a look at the rest of our 9 hours, though, and how to plan out your evening. Let's go ahead and take a look. 7 o'clock, 72 degrees. We are looking at some cloud cover, not too bad, though. By 10 p.m., 66 degrees. And then we continue to drop down to those low 60s. We'll hit 61 for your 2 a.m. hour. Now, as for the rest of our 9 days, we do have quite a bit to talk about for our Friday and Saturday. Really nothing major, just again, those above average temperatures. We do drop down, though, on Sunday ahead of a cold front. We're looking at cooler temperatures and breezy conditions, and then enter that cold front that drops us down to average conditions. 69 degrees for your Monday, a little bit more clouds on our Tuesday. 68 will be that forecasted high. Come a Wednesday, we do have shower chances on the board. We'll be in those mid to upper 60s, and then we clear the way for our Thursday, where we are looking to be windy at times. We'll be in those low 60s for Thursday and Friday before we drop down to 61 degrees for next Saturday. So once we get through this heat, it looks like things should be pretty good. Monica?
Tirza, thank you so much. Well, in today's In the Comments segment, emails released by Democrats show convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein telling associates that President Donald Trump knew about his relationships with underage girls. The emails show Epstein's connection with his associate Ghislaine Maxwell. In the short exchanges from 2010, Epstein says Trump, quote, spent hours at my house, while another says the president, quote, knew about the girls. Now, as we've been reporting, the president has denied being close with Epstein, who died by suicide in 2019 when he was in jail awaiting trial on additional charges. Trump even sued the Wall Street Journal for defamation after the outlet published a story this year alleging Trump wrote a birthday note to Epstein in 2003 referencing their relationship. Now, we did share the story all over our social media accounts, and lots of you had lots of thoughts you wanted to share. So we're going to start off with Corey Rose, who writes, President Trump wasn't the president then. He was a hotel chain owner. He has stated that once he realized what Epstein was doing, he disassociated himself with him and reported it. So what is the point here? Meanwhile, Manny Rosales writes, so 15 years ago, there was a specific email that somehow gave us the answer to what we are now questioning in 2025 of this specific person? Sure. And Lisa Rivera writes, the way his supporters are trying to spin this based on the description of the article, they are referring to him as President Trump because he is the president. Now, here at KTSM, of course, we value your opinion, and we definitely want to hear more from you. So make sure you are following us on all of our social media platforms to keep in touch with us through the comments. All right, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Expert tips from your student doc, sponsored by Burrell College of Osteopathic Medicine. Tips for a healthy heart.
Hey everybody, I'm Sydney Alvarez here with student Dr. Shukla Mohajan with Burrell College of Osteopathic Medicine. We're here to share 4 tips for a healthy heart.
Thanks, Sid. Okay, tip number 1, eat more heart-healthy foods. Fill your plate with fruits, veggies, whole grains, nuts, and healthy fats like olive oil, avocado, and salmon. Limit fried foods, salt, and sugar to protect your heart. Tip number 2, add exercise daily. Aim for regular aerobic activity like walking, swimming, running, or sports you enjoy. Add strength training twice a week. And remember, moving, even in short breaks, helps your heart. Tips number 3, build healthy habits. Quit smoking, limit alcohol, and manage stress by breathing, yoga, or meditation. And don't forget, 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. Tip number 4, see your physician. Know your numbers, blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar. Regular checkups catch problems early and keep your heart strong.
Thank you so much. For more information, go to burrell.edu.
Expert tips from your student doc, sponsored by Burrell College of Osteopathic Medicine.
TV personalities in the city.
All right, we're getting a final look at your exclusive 9-day forecast. Warm conditions for our Friday and Saturday. We drop down to cooler temperatures for Sunday. Will be around 75 degrees. And then we have a cold front coming for our Monday and Tuesday, finally bring us down to average temperatures. Monica, looking forward to that because we are so ready for the fall-like conditions.
I think I am, yes. I think I'm finally ready for fall. I don't know where any of my long sleeves and sweaters are, but I have time.
That's a problem for another day. We still have 80 tomorrow. Yeah, it'll be okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Cheers, and thank you for tuning in to KTSM 9+. I'm Monica Cortez. 9 News Now with Estela Casas is up next.
Hair and wardrobe provided by